So tell me, first of all, was this your first trip to St. Jude?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Why did you decide to visit? Why did you accept the invitation?
Um, I guess one of the reasons I wanted to come out here is to because I do 2 years ago I did Warrior Dash as a St. Jude warrior, and a lot of people were asking me, well, why'd you do that for? And I was like, well, one of the reasons, which sounds kind of selfish, was like you had a free shower, so there was a shower yourself, so you clean yourself afterwards. But I also liked the fact that I was I was going through all that, I guess pain and mud, whatever, but that money was going to a good cause. And just the fact that I know that it's helping somebody, it made it more meaningful for me instead of just, oh, I'm going to try for my personal best record today. It was like I was doing it for something and for somebody. And then one incentive that I gave, because I had to raise money for it, was I told everybody if you donate at least $20 to me, I would write your name on my body, and then you could run with me in a way. So I ended up doing it. I had a lot of people donating money, so I had marker all over me. But the one thing I didn't think of was the marker I used, so it didn't wash off, and it was like almost like it was really hot that day, so it got sunburned on my skin. So the next day when I washed off, I still had everybody's names on me. So it was funny, but I mean, and ever since then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep working for St. Jude or just keep raising money for them. And I don't know, I just don't like seeing kids in pain. And I think it's and even just being at the hospital, I mean, it was just a great experience of being there and seeing like everybody was happy. So it made me feel good.
You didn't expect that?
No, I mean, obviously, I knew I had friends that came to the last one, and they told me it was a really life-changing experience for them. And like the whole time before I came here, I just had, I guess, that image of kids, being sick and not feeling well. But then I didn't see any of that, and I just saw how walking down the hallways, everybody was smiling and everybody felt good, and I'm like, you know what, that's how it should be. Because if you come in here with that attitude that this is just going to be depressing and everyone's going to be sad, then people are going to feed off of that, and it's going to probably bring the mood down. But just walking in and just the bright colors and everyone smiling, it's just like it felt really good, and it just made me happy.
So your friends, or I guess you said your friends who had been before, said it was life changing.
Yes.
Did you feel the same for yourself?
You know what? It's weird because everyone keeps talking about that moment, that St. Jude moment. And I feel like I haven't experienced it yet. And I know it's like going to hit me. Like right now I'm like feeling it a little, but it's like when I talk to my kids at night and I see how they're fine, and I'm not having to experience anything with them like that. They're not sick. My son fell down yesterday and scraped his knee. I'm like, oh, okay, that's no big deal. But like, I think when I get home, something's going to click, or maybe even on the flight home, I'm going to have that experience. But right now it was just like, being at the Civil Rights Museum, seeing the connection between the two, because I never knew that about Danny Thomas and why he built the St. Jude Hospital here. But just that whole moment of understanding why, it's like, okay, I kind of get it. I understand why this is important and why it's here. So that, in a way, made me feel different. And when I was talking to my wife that night, I was FaceTiming her. I was talking to my daughter, and I was telling her about it. And then she was like, "Oh, that's where Martin Luther King." And she's like, "He had the idea. I have a dream speech." And I'm like, "Yeah, but there's so much more to that." And I'm telling her, I'm like, "I'm gonna bring you out here one day because I want you to experience this. I want you to go to the museum with me." And then I was telling my wife, I was like, "I wish I was still teaching." Because I mean, February, it's just this is Black History Month. This is what you gotta learn. And I'm like, no, there should be a lot more. And then like the tour guide we had, the stories that he told us, and it was just like, it was beautiful because it's not just fact. It was like, this is what happened, and this is what they were talking about on that day, and this is what they were thinking. And it's just like, you don't ever see that side. You just see what's in the book. So I think that's what really changed. That might be like one of my life-changing moments from being here.
Good. So when you go home, what are you going to tell them about St. Jude? Like, did you learn anything that you didn't know that you thought was really impactful?
The inclusion of the siblings. I think that I think that was great because seeing my daughter and my son together all the time, and just the thought of one of them being sick and how the other one's going to react to it. And then knowing that here it's like the sibling is also part of everything. And I think last night, Angela told us like they have a star day for the sibling, where the sibling is like the center of attraction for the whole day. And I thought that was just awesome. Because it's like, me having two sisters, they were older than me. And I was always the one left out, I was always like, they're going to go out tonight and you're going to stay home, or, don't tell mom and dad I did this. And then it's like now our connection is like incredible with my sisters, especially now that my middle sister, she just had her first kid. So it's like now she understands where I'm coming from when I talk about my kids. So that connection I have with my sisters is just growing, and it's a lot better than when we were younger. But seeing my two kids, how they connect, and then just knowing that St. Jude does everything to make sure that the whole family is involved, and I think that's just beautiful.
What do you think about the fact that families don't receive a bill from St. Jude?
I think that's amazing, and I think it's one thing I wrote about in one of my posts is like I was unemployed for a while, and just the thought of anything ever happening to my kids, like the thought of bills and everything, I knew it's too much, and then just knowing that the parents can come here and not have to worry about that. They just have to focus on their child, and I think that is like one of the most like selfish things anyone can do for anybody is like, you know what, you're here for your child, and that's all I want you to think about. Don't worry about anything else. We got that for you. And I think that's I wish more people were like that. More companies or corporations were like that with people. Don't worry about, we'll take care of you. And that's how I kind of grew up with my family. My family always took care of each other. And just to see that, something so big, like these bills, are not, they're not, it's $100 bill. No, this is like, in the thousands. And to know that they don't have to pay anything for bills or medication or housing or any of that. That's just like, people say a break taken off your shoulder. It's like an apartment building taken off your shoulder because it's so much. And it's like I said before, it's a beautiful thing.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say before we close? I think you did a great job.
No, I'm just I'm happy that I was invited. I don't know how I got on the list to be invited, but I'm glad that I was here and I experienced this. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that had me here.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.